This is the triangle of power. Right, here goes. Imagine you're coming in on a flight to Heathrow Airport. Here, this is you, there, with your bag. You fly into Heathrow Airport. Now, you've got various options to get into central London, because Heathrow Airport is several miles out from central London. Firstly, you've got the Heathrow Express, which takes you directly to Paddington. And, of course, your other option is the Piccadilly line. The Piccadilly line. Anyway, these two options get you into this central London. However, if you're at Heathrow Airport at some time in the past, what they would have done is they would have transferred you into a place known as the West London Air Terminal. They would have transferred you directly by shuttle bus, and you wouldn't even have to go to security, because all the baggage carousels and the check-ins and the security checks, they're all done at the West London Air Terminal. And then they shuttled you across to Heathrow Airport, which was purely for the planes, which left more space for the villages that they're planning to demolish now. I'm silly them. But anyway, question is, where is this West London Air Terminal? Well, what happened to it? Well, it was demolished, and now it no longer exists, and in its place there is a Sainsbury's. Sainsbury's. Honestly, these corporations, they get everywhere these days. Right. And where is this Sainsbury's? Well, I could show you on a map. Here. This is the Sainsbury's there. And there's a Natural History Museum, Gloucester Road Tube, South Kensington Tube, so over there-ish. And the Sainsbury's there, Earl's Court that way. But actually, the real details about its location go back to the 1870s, when the tube first came through here. And this is what tube geeks know as the Triangle of Power came through, between Earl's Court, High Street, Kensington, and Gloucester Road. Now, if you really want to know the Triangle of Power, the name was coined by a tube challenger called Jeff Marshall, and this is where you can read about it. Basically, all he says on here is he uses it as a way to get from Wimbledon to the city and Edgware Road. For example, you could go from Wimbledon to the city via High Street, Kensington, or you could go from Edgware Road to Wimbledon via Gloucester Road, or you can go from the city to Wimbledon, or you can go from Edgware Road to the city via Earl's Court, depending on what train came first. But anyway, those are just bland details about service frequencies and tube trains. That's the then. Who cares about the then? We want to hear about the history. Anyway, but since this was subsurface railways, the sidings were there, and although they plonked the West London Air Terminal on top, you can still see the sidings if you look for them. So we're gonna have a look to see the trains from above. Pick up everything. Firstly, we make our way into the Sainsbury's. We need to get into their car park. We pass the magazines, past the salad bar, And the main shop's over there on the right. It's quite a big Sainsbury's because it used to be an airport. It used to be a mini airport, so obviously they made quite a big store out of it. And I could take the lift, but seeing as I'm not yet 18, I'm supposed to have quite a bit of energy, so I'm going to take the stairs. To the top, the car park, the West London Air Terminal. And because it's a car park, there's a lot of cars, but we're not interested in the cars unless you see something really rare, which I don't. So, make our way to the back of the car park, to the back stairs behind the Sainsbury's, and we can take a peer over the side, and you can already see the trains passing below. D-stop trains running along the district line. This is the south side of the Triangle of Power, and this is where you can see the trains. So, that's the trains, and exactly what the West London Air Terminal was built on top of. A couple of train sidings, which they call the triangle sidings, and this was way before the term Triangle of Power was even imagined, and the sidings used to be right underneath. Now they're covered up by Sainsbury's, but you can still see it slightly. Anyway, the trains. We can go and have a look, see if you can catch a glimpse of another train. I don't think we're going to, but it's worth a glance. I see no other trains. If you look down there by the bridge, you can see the other tracks on the eastern side of the triangle. And, oh yes, we do get some other trains. That's the tracks on the eastern side of the triangle. And there is a district line train making its way along the south side again. You can see it over there. But I'm not here to watch trains. I'm here to talk history. And we've already discussed an abandoned airport terminal you never knew existed, but did. And now we're going to head over to actually go and catch some trains. Now, this walk might take a bit of a while. We're going past the hotel on the left called Point West. But hopefully I'll get there sooner or later. So, time to talk about exactly what happened. When the tube first opened in 1863 between Paddington and Farringdon, it wasn't called the Tube. It was a little railway company called the Metropolitan Railway, and they ran the tube services between Paddington and Farringdon and they became what is now the Circle Line, the Hammersmith and City Line, and the Metropolitan Line, I suppose, because they were the Metropolitan Railway. But that's enough of that. But anyway, after they'd got that down, and it was quite successful, so they asked Parliament, and Parliament said, okay, you can build more track under the city. And somebody suggested they make a number of circular train services. So they began to broaden out into a circle. So they extended the lines westward out of Paddington, and they went to Hammersmith along what is now the Hammersmith and City Line. They also went to Kensington Addington Road, which we now call Kensington Olympia. And they also began to make the Circle Line. But to deal with the Circle Line, what they then made was there was then another company that was created to handle services along the south side of the circle. And this company was called the Metropolitan District Railway. And they became, three guesses what? Well, actually, I'm not going to give you the three guesses. They became the District Line, obviously, because they were the District Railway. And it started off as a short railway between South Kensington and Mansion House, which was as far as they could get. And if you go to Mansion House or South Kensington, you can still see terminus platforms at the two, which is where the train services used to terminate. And that's going to be pretty much it for the moment. I might have missed something out, but we're coming up to Gloucester Road Tube Station on the right. We can cut to the shopping centre, and you can see it used to be run by the Metropolitan District Railway. If I just speed up a little. God, it's getting dark. This is my fourth draft of this video. I got all the way through the first three, and then I realised I left my oyster behind, so I had to go back and get it at Imperial, and then charge up my phone because it was running out of battery, and delete the old videos because then it would have run out of space. But enough of that. We're soon to arrive at Gloucester Road. It's round the corner, and you can tell the Metropolitan Railway used to run services here, because if you can see it in the camera, I don't know how good the resolution is, but up there, Metropolitan Railway Station, trains to all parts of London. There's the people who used to run the Circle Line. But enough talking, let's go and find some trains. I know what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the Circle Line to take me round the eastern side of the circle. Anyway, here we are, Gloucester Road Station. And it's got three platforms. The one on the left, the one very far, is for the westbound districts. The westbound circles come here, and the eastbound circles go on the other side. Right, that's that. Time to start showing the history of the line. Right, in this lovely new document entitled History, make a start on this. Right, this is HSK, Earl's Court, but although Gloucester Road, and it appears we have a Circle Line, so we shall continue with this video while I'm on board. This is a Circle Line train, Paddington.
This is Gloucester Road.
So it is. Right. History. Circle Line. Right, firstly, Metropolitan Railway. District Railway. Firstly, the District Railway, South Ken to Mountain House, and the Circle Metropolitan Railway went off to Farringdon area. And firstly, the Metropolitan Railway made themselves a curve through to South Ken to join on with the district. And the District Railway started to get in on the fun and made themselves a line over to West Brompton. You can see out the window. And they also created a curve up High Street Kensington. Well, it wasn't enough for the District Railway, because you see the Metropolitan Railway were getting all the fares through from High Street Kensington down to there, and the District Railway decided it'd be a lot easier for them if they could run direct trains to HSK without reversing at Earl's Court. So they made in on the night of the 5th of July 1870, the District Railway made themselves a secret curve here between HSK and Gloucester Road, and they call this the Cromwell Curve. And on the morning of the 6th, they woke up the commuters woke up and they had a brand new section of railway from High Street Kensington to Gloucester Road, and from Gloucester Road to High Street Kensington, which is where we are now. We're now in High Street Kensington, and we're going to go around the western side of the triangle. That was the eastern side on the Circle line, and we cross over for the District line. It's run by C-stock trains. That was an S-stock train on the Circle. This is a C-stock train on the District, and these are being slowly phased out, and S-stocks are replacing them. So I'm quite lucky to get one of these. This is C-stock, you can see. Anyway, time to continue with the story. They made the Cromwell Curve from Gloucester Road to High Street Kensington, and Parliament weren't happy because it was illegal, and there was a lawsuit, and terrible things happened. The Cromwell Curve was destroyed. It was dismantled later on, and only the Metropolitan Railway was allowed to run trains in High Street Kensington and Gloucester Road. Of course, the District Railway didn't mind, because by then they'd already extended out all the way as far as Ealing and sometimes as far as Windsor. Yes, the District line went to Windsor. And they'd gone east as well, as far as Southend, which is also pretty far. Anyway, that's two sides of the triangle of power. These days, of course, 2014, it's all part of the tube, and Circle line runs S-stock, as we were on before. The line between Wimbledon and Edgware Road runs C-stock, which we're on now, and then the District line, all other parts, run D-stock. Now, C-stock is only run on the Wimbledon-Edgware Road stretch because this Metropolitan Railway, the tunnels aren't big enough for the D-stock trains any further than High Street Kensington, so they can't run D-stock up there. They can only run C-stock, which is why there's still C-stock on here. And there's another That's of course the good old Piccadilly line, which goes off like that. And the Piccadilly runs on 1973 stock. And so far, we've tried the district, the circle, and now we're going for the now we're at Earl's Court station. It's quite dark. Earl's Court's had an upgrade, and it is the end of part 1.